easy guys, Dom here from Cringy Dead Gaming. So in this video I'm going to be offering a few tips to help you survive the chimney level from the game Remnant 2. So if you're getting stuck on this, then hopefully this video will help. Now when you first arrive in this area, you'll notice this crystal, this pink crystal that's shooting out electricity. This is the heart seed. This is actually a crafting material that you will get once you reach the bottom. Now there's a lever here and you can pull that to start this crystal going down to the bottom where you collect it. However, there's a little bit of prep work you can do here. So as you go down, you may have noticed already there's these crystals that will glow and fire electricity at you as you're going down, which will damage you and slow you down and just generally be a pain in the backside. Well, you can actually shoot these before you even start the heart seed's descent. You can't shoot all of them. There's some that are just out of sight, but I would try and shoot as many as you can before you start your descent, just purely for the fact that it just makes things a little bit easier. Now I did bring an ammo box with me as well, so I've pretty much used all my ammo shooting as many as I can. Then I've got some ammo to restock to be able to then shoot the enemies that are going to be trying to slow our descent. Because once we start this crystal going down, we're obviously got to try and stay in between the electricity. There's electricity above us and electricity below us, and we've got to pretty much stay in the sweet spot all the way down. There's going to be a few obstacles that are going to try to get you killed. Once you've shot as many crystals as you can see, and you're happy that you've done the best you can, then take note that there is a blockage of roots a little way down, which you'll also need to shoot. However, we don't want to destroy it all now because it does give you a bit of breathing space, but what you can do at this point is actually just shoot one of the pods that's inside these roots. They're like glowing yellow pods. By shooting that, what we can do is we can just start the crystal moving without having to go up and pulling the lever, which means we get a head start really on the electricity going down. Alright, so now this is where the fun starts. We don't want to go too far down because if we stand on that electricity, it's going to kill us. But we also need to be aware that the electricity above us isn't gonna come down and kill us as well. And I think when I first started trying to do this section, I did get the timing wrong a little bit. Now there might be some shortcuts on the way down and there might be other ways to do this. This is just one way of doing it, I guess, out of many. You don't necessarily even have to kill a lot of these enemies. You can just avoid them, and it's all about the timing and just making sure that you're keeping an eye on what's going on around you, giving yourself enough time to be able to, just descend really without getting electrocuted. But also bear in mind that you probably hadn't been able to shoot all those crystals around the edge, so we also need to keep an eye out for some of those as well. So even though we had a bit of a head start, we're already getting to a point where the electricity is almost catching up with us above us. Once we get down to that blockage of roots that I mentioned to you earlier, there will be, like I said, a little bit of breathing space for us to be able to turn around and maybe shoot some of these enemies that are following us. If you do get the opportunity to shoot a few crystals that are in front of you, then try to do that, but it's, I guess, really not that important to do it until you get closer to them really. And to be honest with you, you can actually avoid some of the electricity by kind of dodging and rolling. But this is the part now where we're going to get a bit of breathing space because the crystal is now lodged within those roots that are in that middle column where it's going down. So the electricity is not going to move now at this point. It's not going to go anywhere. So when I first started trying to do the chimney, another thing that happened was I didn't realize that. And I was just stood here just with enemies, they just kept coming and coming. And I was just like, what's going on here? And it was then that I realized. But this may also give you an opportunity here now to shoot a few more crystals and also shoot some of these enemies that are below us. And the thing is about these enemies that are below us, we're going to get to a section in a minute where there's actually quite a lot of enemies along a corridor that really do slow you down. And that section is quite challenging to a certain extent because the electricity moves down quite quick because of how close you are to it when you actually restart the movement of that heart seed crystal. So what we want to do now while this movement is paused is to not only check for more crystals that could be below us, but also to maybe just shoot a few of these enemies that are below us, because it's just going to clear a few of these guys out. They've spawned in and we just shoot them and give ourselves a bit of breathing space when we drop down. Although there is a little bit of a shortcut which we're going to use once we get to that point. So here we go, you can see there's quite a few guys down below now, and yeah, if you drop down just when they've all spawned in like that, that's quite challenging to try and move through that area, especially while trying to beat the electricity. So it's probably a good idea to try and shoot a few of these. Now, just note that there's also another blockage a little bit further down, and you can shoot a few of the pods before you even go past this section we're at right now. So yeah, again, you can just kind of get a head start on something that's potentially going to hold you up when you get to a certain stage. Because as I mentioned before, going down the chimney, it's all about timing, really. It might not be necessary to do that, but you know, it's just I saw the opportunity to do it and I just thought, yeah, I'm gonna shoot a few of these pods while I'm up at this stage, just to make things a little easier for me when I get down to that point. Okay, so now we're ready. We can shoot this mass of roots here that has these pods. Once that blockage has been cleared, then the heartseed crystal is going to continue to move down. This is where we've got to be quite quick. Sometimes you will get an elite enemy spawn in here that will block you. We're going to go across this large route here, and there is a corridor just down here that you can run along, but sometimes you can get trapped there by a load of enemies. So you can actually just jump off here onto this part of the balcony. We do have an elite enemy here, and yeah, but luckily enough they've spawned down here and not on the route. They spawn on the route, sometimes they can knock you down. Now I am going in the wrong direction here, but I wanted to pick up the ammunition. So now we've picked up some ammunition, we've got a bit of time. We just need to wait for my mod to finish there, otherwise that would burn us. Now we can just continue along. There is some more crystals here that we need to shoot. That little shortcut actually saved us a little bit of time, so we're now in a really good position. Again, just spotting crystals and just shooting them before they can actually do any damage to us or stun us. So you can see that there's another pod down here. We're getting to a point where we'll be able to shoot that in a second. Just keeping an eye on our surroundings. We're in a good position here now. We're able to shoot this pod here at the bottom. It gets quite tricky now down towards the bottom because we get quite a large number of enemies spawning, and trying to shoot those pods when you're right at the bottom and trying to deal with enemies as well can be quite difficult. So as I said, it's not a necessity, but it just speeds things up a little bit, makes things a little bit easier for us. So we're almost at a point now where we're pretty much going to be safe. The heart seed is still moving down at this point, so we can't go right to the bottom, so we are going to be stuck on this piece of stairs for a moment until we can actually get off them. This is where you're going to get quite a large number of enemies thrown at you from both sides. This is just all a matter of surviving now, pretty much. Don't go too high because, yeah, we're going to get electrocuted. So there may be a chance for you to maybe use some of your powers here. And now we're down, we're pretty much safe from the electric. And yeah, once that crystal reaches the bottom, it's going to kill all the enemies remaining in the area. But you're not necessarily finished in this area yet either. You might have noticed on the way down that there was this icon showing you the fallen trinket. However, it's not fallen yet. If you look up this hole here, you can actually see something glowing up there. Well, this is actually a amulet. So what I would recommend doing at this point, before going to the checkpoint at the bottom, just kill yourself. Because what that means then is you're just going to respawn at the checkpoint at the top. And because you've already completed this level, it just means now you can just run from that checkpoint back down to the point where there's this route with, like, I guess a purple pod in it, which you'll spot when you run down. You just got to get to the right part of the balcony. There we go, we can see it there glowing purple. So we just need to shoot that pod, and what's going to happen then is that trinket's just going to fall down that hole. If you go along to that balcony, just look for the little purple marker on your map, and there you will then get the trinket. So hopefully some of these tips have helped you survive the chimney. It was quite a challenging level for me. Hopefully this has helped you if you are stuck, and if it has, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Why not check out some of my other Remnant 2 videos? So I'll catch you guys on another video, and thanks for watching.